What do you think, Sadie? You want to help? That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Excuse you. No, ma'am, that's not helping. Sadie, that's not where I needed to dig. That's not helping. No, honey. No. Hey, I'm Bree, and welcome back to my fire pit this time. If you have been enjoying my channel, I would so appreciate a like, subscribe, or even sharing if you can. It's very much appreciated. Today, I'm gonna walk you through, show you how, and tell you why I went ahead and created this fire pit area and then additional planting space around the outside. About 2 years ago now, we bought this house, and the previous owners had a giant above ground pool in this area that they really had just removed right before the house went on the market. So we've been kind of dealing with this sandy depression right outside our back door that we see all the time that was pretty ugly. We did not want it to just become another grassy area, so we had to get creative with what to do with it. We eventually decided that it would become a fire pit since we love to have fires all the time anyway. I am so excited. This project has finally come to fruition and been completed, except for, you know, the very best part, most exciting part is getting more plants in here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that further in the video. So you will see various clips over the past 3 weeks that it took me to complete this around my work schedule and the erratic weather we were having, hence all the wonderful wardrobe changes. And I was trying to calculate as well. I think total this took about 10 to 12 hours to complete. One quick note before we get started, I am not going to be diving into this fire ring, the stone fire ring you see here, since that was completed last year. As soon as we decided that this was going to become a fire pit, we went ahead and built and stacked these stones so we could start having fires as soon as possible. This is super, super easy and quick to build though. These are just flagstone retaining wall blocks that you can get for about $3 a piece at any hardware store. And those, for reference, are going to be linked below in the video description, along with every other tool and material supply I used to complete this project for your reference. If you do have questions about this fire ring though, definitely don't hesitate, drop a note in the comments, let me know, and happy to share more information, talk about it. That was another great project and, you know, the centerpiece of this whole thing. I was so excited to just get this project started that I did a terrible job of getting any before footage for you guys of what this really looked like and what we were working with when we got into it. But needless to say, it was not very pretty. The longer this sat here over time, you know, obviously more and more grass and weeds and things like that just started to take root, even though it was mostly sand. So the biggest part of this project and the hardest work was getting this completely weeded and cleaned out and a fresh slate of all these weeds. So I got my handy dandy weeding tool and got going. An important moment of praise and satisfying demonstration for this wonderful weeding tool I had in my Amazon cart for months and months, and then it went on a Black Friday sale last year, and it was the best purchase of 2023 for me. It has made all of this so much easier, even though it's still been a little sweaty and hard work. Would have been harder without it. Oh man, if only it had been that quick and easy and painless in real life to get this weeded and cleaned out. Anyway, once I had done that with this inner fire ring area for where the seating was going to be and the gathering space was going to be, got that all cleaned out, I wanted to come in and just bring in a little bit of extra sand, fresh, clean sand to layer up, bulk it up a little bit, and just get it again a little bit cleaner and nicer. And this was enough for now. I might add a little bit more over time as I see when it settles and how the rains, if anything, needs more cushion so it's not collecting water or anything. But so far this was enough, and 50 pounds of bag to carry this far into my backyard was also plenty. Exhibit A. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Enjoying all my work in the fire pit. Is this Sadie's sand pit? It's Sadie's sand pit. Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime. Back at the fire pit. And then it was on to weeding the outer perimeter of this fire ring, which was going to become the planting space. And that was even tougher, harder work, took much more time, and it was a lot larger of a space, but there was just so much more grass and other things that had really become happy and rooted down in this area. And then, as if this video has not made it obvious enough already, here's a montage to explain why gardeners don't need to go to the gym. So I'm really excited about finishing up this fire pit. It's been more work than I expected to get all the weeds pulled out and ripped up by the root. And so now all we have left is the sand. But that's going to be so much easier for me when I'm trying to grow what I want to grow and not have all the grass and the weeds come back as much. It's going to take a while to get it weed free, if that ever is possible. So now I have all the soil ready. I'm going to fill it in with, and then it will be ready. I just feel like it's this beautiful space full of potential, and I just envision this perimeter. It's about 4 feet, comes 4 feet out from the fire pit. And I envision that just being this beautiful pollinator haven. Gonna fill it with a lot of native milkweed species, since it does tend to hold some water still more. It gets just a little wetter than the rest of the yard when we get heavy rains, but things like milkweed are gonna like that. Some other native perennials are gonna be fine here, and then some annual pollinator plants as well. Maybe not necessarily all natives, but ones that the hummingbirds and the butterflies are all going to flock to. I did a little area like that around here last year as like a test to see if I like that here, if things would come to it, and it was really beautiful, and I can see it out the back windows of my whole house. And so I just envision in a few months this amazing colorful display of nature, and then this really cozy little fire pit that we've been wanting to make a really nicer, cleaner, designated area to have our fires, which we have pretty often. So we have raised bed soil. I thought that would be a really good choice for a situation like this, where it's essentially a bare slate. Like, I need to build that soil health from scratch. And raised bed soil, think of it like you're filling a container, similar to that. So I think that will do well here. And then black cow manure, good fertilizer, good compost to amend it, just to add again those extra nutrients, and hopefully create a really great space to grow some flowering, pollinating plants. That will be good, a growing medium to get things started. You know, like I said, native stuff is going to be more happier anyway, and then over time we'll really build up the soil health. But you know, the sandy soil is not that detrimental for certain plants. So I'm excited to see how it all comes along. And the fun part is happening soon, where I can just put the soil in, see a blank slate, put some seeds in that need cold stratification, because we still have a couple months left for that, and then put some transplants in the spring, and I'll show you the progress. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Okay, now it is time to finally put our soil in this perimeter area and wrap this phase of the project up, which I think, again, is the most exciting. So I'm just gonna get to it. Okay, actually the most exciting part is gonna be putting plants in it and then watching them grow, and then seeing all the, hopefully, butterflies and other wildlife caterpillars that come. So lots of exciting parts. The weeding was not exciting. Let's be honest. Okay. I want to share a little bit more about specifically what types of plants I will be putting in this area, since throughout the video I keep saying pollinator plants and shared milkweed as one of them, but there are many more. So things like aster, columbine, black-eyed Susan, blanket flower, Tulsi or holy basil, cosmos, zinnia, sunflowers will all go here. Additionally, things like parsley, dill, and cilantro are going to be really, really great sources for butterflies and all sorts of other wonderful pollinating wildlife. And here you'll see my signature move, my frog hop, putting down soil, spreading things on the ground technique for all things gardening. Feel free to use it. So yeah, we went through a lot of thoughts and discussion around how best to turn this into a fire pit. It's a huge circle, it's a huge area. I think it's about 20 feet in diameter. That's too big for a fire pit, especially, you know, we might have 4, maybe 6 people at most. So last year we were able to get started. I just really wanted to have something out here to have fires. And so that's when we got the stones and we just stacked them super easy. And there was already that sand here, so it's a really good spot. Nothing is going to burn to have fire. So, and then I got my chairs. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I don't like Adirondack chairs. Have you ever sat in one? Have you ever actually like sat up in one? No, because you slide back. So I wanted chairs that were going to be functional and comfortable, not just that aesthetic of what you imagine a fire pit has. Anyway, so I got my chairs in my favorite color. So far, they've been very sturdy and durable and lasted over a year already. I mean, they were very affordable too. And I think they're comfortable. So then we went back and forth around, do we get gravel? Because again, everyone gets gravel for their fire pit. I don't know. I don't know how people are doing it in other places, but gravel is super expensive and really, really hard and labor intensive to get somewhere, especially we got gravel delivered to our driveway, we have to hike all the way from the front of our yard to here and then fill in, you know, the diameter of the circle I ended up going with is about 8 to 10 feet. So that's still a ton of gravel. And that's where I was getting stuck, because I wanted to get this project done last year. And I was like, I don't want to do gravel. And finally it dawned on me, wait, there's already sand here. Just fill it in some more. I don't know. That's what I went with. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be fine, because it was fine for the last year, right? It's good. Sadie is like, sand was a very good choice. And then I just always want more growing space. So I think I was driving a long drive one day back from a hike or something, listening to a gardening podcast, and just my wheels were turning about what to do with this space. And it finally dawned on me that I don't have to have the whole thing be a fire pit, and I can use it for growing space. So I'm just always more excited when I can get rid of more grass, add some more dirt, and grow things. So that's where this kind of vision came about. And again, it was probably almost a year ago that we decided that's what we wanted to do. And now we're doing it. That's just how things work. Some things are not immediate. We did not have the money, the time, nor the energy until now to get this done. Also, I'm very excited I ended up doing it in the winter, because you'll see as time goes on, probably the biggest issue we have are fire ants, and they love sand. So I think had I tried to do this even in the fall, anytime when it wasn't cold and things had frozen, I would just be battling them and potentially getting bit and just really frustrated. So I'm glad this timing worked out. And yeah, I will take you along the journey of when I start to plant in this area and show you all the exciting growth and life that comes from it, and all the fires that happen here. It's just going to be just a much more inviting space. And like I said, I look at this out my back windows all the time, and it really was an eyesore for me. So a little messy right now because everything just got put down, but it's going to just be really beautiful in just a couple months. Yeah, you see it, all the beautiful potential of this space now. One of my favorite things about gardening is just the anticipation of what's to come, knowing that things will grow. So I've alluded to it a little bit, but my vision for this area is like a pollinator butterfly, specifically haven. I just want, you know, come July, August, just butterflies, just like fluttering about all over this place, watching it all day. And then also laying their eggs or having their full life cycle to happen in this space. So that's my hope. So those are my plans for this space. I would love to hear what you would do in general from start to finish with a space like this. Would you turn it into a fire pit? What other thoughts do you have? If you turned it into a planting area, what would you plant here? Drop it in the comments. I really would love your insights and creative ideas, just to know what everyone else is thinking and feeling around that essence of endless potential.